Hello, beautiful Gemini, my gorgeous star travelers. That's why I've come to think of you after all the things that transpired in 2017. This is Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage for your January 2017, pardon me, 2018. Ooh, I slipped. I haven't made the transition yet. This card came right out, jumped right out of the deck when I started to put your reading down on my little grandmother's table this morning. So I wanted to just put that there and let you know that this card continues to come out along with some others of a similar theme. So we have definitely made a transition. The one that was promised through all the words that came through in 2017. I'm really glad to be here with you. I wanted to just give you a preview of that and say hello, good morning, hi everyone. For those of you who have been sending me well wishes, thank you. We've had astounding weather here in Vermont. Winter is winter. Something happened that has to do with the jet stream, and a lot of Arctic air has come down across the country, as many of you know. Some of you are living through it. It was, I think, 15 degrees below zero last night. We've had snowstorms and ice storms, and it started snowing again this morning. It's so cold that the internet is not working properly, probably because mine is DSL. So bear with me. I'm hoping it's going to be enough of a stream to, allow me to create the video. So for those of you that are new, welcome. This is a very exciting year. If you haven't seen any of the videos on my channel from last year, go check it out. These videos build upon each other. There's a story that is unfolding that has been streaming through to me in a channeled way for many years. And finally, in January of this past year, a year ago, this month, I decided to start my YouTube channel in order to get the messages out. So there are a number of announcements. I'm going to make a video. There are some big changes coming, or some happy additions to the things that I now am free to do, having lived up to my commitment for last year. Different kinds of readings, couples readings, love readings. I'm going to be welcoming people for medium services. If you want to be in touch with someone who's on the other side, give me a shout. We're going to start doing that. And the other thing that I am going to be free to do is to do distance healing, which is something that's been present in my life for a long time. And I've been feeling the nudge from spirit, and that's my furnace. That's my little heater that's how cold it is. So I am going to begin to do the distance healing that I've been doing a little bit here and there locally. And folks just spontaneously from the internet started coming forward and saying, will you, can you? And I thought, all right, it's time. The ask is there. So I'm very excited. All the information you need about every piece of that is right below this video. Click on the show more button, scroll below the video to the description box. You'll see some light gray text. Click on that, it's a tab. Everything is there. The other big piece of news for me is I'm finally gonna put together a website. I'm hoping to roll that out by the end of January, and then hopefully we'll transition all that information just for ease of use for everybody involved, okay? So let's transition back and start your reading. I'm really excited about this for you. Gemini, given the distance that you have traveled, that's a phrase that's coming through from Spirit. It is time for you to unfold that which you have retrieved. What a beautiful message. And it's coming through for you, as often happens, filtering through my heart chakra. So let me transition back so you can see me. I'm feeling an enormous amount of emotion. Those of you that have been here with me over the past year know that sometimes things come through in a way that is so profound. It stimulates my heart chakra and I actually start to weep. So I'm feeling a little choked up. That is Spirit saying, that is the level of importance that is meant to be understood for this particular message. So this card, the beautiful Augury of Art, it is a prophecy about what you now have the capacity to engage in, and the things that are going to be lighting your pathway as you move forward into 2018 in this new journey of manifesting. That's what Spirit is saying. And all that amazing star travel that you did deep out into the universe through the passage tomb and the tree entity that came to speak for you and with you is what's coming through. Back in October, when I was in Ireland on my sacred journey, Spirit's talking about that. And I think there's a notation here because we see the sacred cauldron continuing to speak about that particular part of your journey that started back actually in August, I think was the first time that through the channeled messages, it was acknowledged that you were traveling very deep out into the nebulae, out into the universe, and you have reemerged, Gemini, here in this place, standing before this beautiful body of water. So the prophecy in this card has to do with the beginning of the artful way of doing life, the ability to manifest abundance out of the concept of love and fertility. This has to do with the beginning of happiness and emotional growth, all the things that you could think of that would be connected to that, joy and pleasure. But most specifically, Spirit wants to speak with you about receptivity. And it's interesting, that concept came through for Cancer last month in December, and now it's coming through for you. Because, and actually, Spirit's telling me, remind everyone, also for Aries in a particular way. Because of the work that was done in 2017, there is a type of receptivity now, similar to the receptivity that I experience. We now are going to begin to build the skills to open ourselves and bring forward abundance that streams into us from the mystical realm, from the heavens. Whatever word you want to put on that, it's always fine with me. As you can see, this beautiful female goddess standing here, awakening is what Spirit is saying, her own abilities to bring forth from the cauldron of abundance all the things I was just talking about. So what this goddess actually does is she blesses the pathway to abundance and growth in our lives. And the sole question that comes about this card is to ask you to look inside yourself and, Spirit saying, raise a query about how is abundance and how are these skill sets meant to manifest in your own life. That's a very deep, really beautiful message. It is touching my heart because of all the things that have transpired in my own life. I know a little something about this type of transition that you were meant to make because of your beautiful energy set point. So let's transition back. I'm going to load up the next picture, and I want to speak with you about this as well. So this card, the Augury of Art, for those of you that are new, this is the card that represents the message from Spirit, the theme of this reading, and the light going forward, and the concept that Spirit would like you to take in, and Spirit saying maintain within yourself as you go forward through 2018. So this reading definitely is January, but Spirit is always also telling me that these messages in January are foreshadowing for the journey of this coming year. So as you journey under the light of this type of energy, this type of prophecy about what is going to develop for you as an energy being, this next card, and I love it. Look at those two beautiful goddesses. This card is the beautiful woman of battle. And Gemini, like many of the signs, you've been through in 2017 what Spirit was calling an initiation of sorts, letting you know that it's time to go deeper still and step into yourself in a way that you have not before, understanding your energy set point. The purpose of that in order to weave this tapestry that was spoken about. And here you have, in this card, the beautiful woman of battle who stands with her personal power in her hand. She has her spear, and her other hand is open to that which may come so that she can receive the gifts that are flowing to her. She looks forward. It's an incredible visual, Spirit's calling it a visual identifier so that you may understand. She also has around her neck, I'm going to transition back so you can see my little face and show you the card. Look at that. You see she has her sacred amulet that she received at her initiation. She's fully vested, Spirit says, with the power. And she has long vision. The wind of change blows through her hair, and she stands with her passion. It's one of the things I love about this card. The beautiful woman of battle. I love it. And she stands waiting to receive. And so what Spirit's saying right now is similar to, it's interesting, similar to the warrior of skill. That's interesting. In this placement, and you know, the warrior of skill is here in your reading. I'm going to show it to you in a moment. She stands waiting for the opportunity to move forward. She's assessing her pathway. And she is also, in a sense, if you can see sort of the look on her face, she almost looks a little bit as if she is having a vision. And that's what Spirit's chattering with me about, the visions that will come as you step into this part of your existence coming in 2018. It's a very powerful, sacred, feminine type. Okay, Spirit's talking about Genesis. The type of flow, the type of fertility, the type of creation that comes from the sacred feminine. So this is the idea Spirit wants you to embed in yourself, if you will, going forward. So let me toggle back so you can look at those cards while I load up the next picture. Having come through the solstice and all the many tasks that were assigned to you in 2017, Spirit is talking a lot this month about emergence. And one of the things, the messages that's coming through that Spirit wants me to really focus on is the fact that you have emerged into this new placement, into this new energetic set point. You have been vested with these abilities and the self-knowledge that has come through the solstice. Here's the human walk. The cards on the human walk reiterate that message, really beautiful. And if you look to the bottom right, you see the beautiful warrior of skill, and we'll get there, we'll talk about him. But you see how he's aligned diagonally with the woman of battle? Spirit is telling me they are joined. And all last year we were talking about the rise of the yin-yang and the rejoining of the sacred male and female. So the warriorship, the sacred warriorship in the month of January, setting the tone for the entire rest of the year, is this beautiful bonding of male and female energy for a sacred journey to unfold what is meant to be manifested this year. So let's take a look at this first card on the lower left. That's the first step in your human walk. It's incredibly beautiful. I'm very grateful to Spirit that this came out this way. Here's the card. Look at that. That is just an amazing message. So what's coming through, and maybe it's obvious if you've been following along, this is you having emerged from the passage tombs on the solstice, your energy having passed through that portal that opened. And now we have this beautiful supermoon coming on the 1st of January. Hopefully I'll have these messages out. That's my goal. I'm having such a challenge at the end of the month here with the weather. But my goal is to have everything out there by the 1st. This is about re-emerging and standing in the light of the sun, in a place of simple joy and abundance, standing upon the wisdom of the ancients. This is the protector of lore. This is a very beautiful major arcana card. The protector of lore stands in the light, fully able, fully transformed. You see the purple? And I love that he seems to be tattooed, this gentleman. So again, more balance of male and female energy. Standing in this way on the sacred ground of the ancients. And Spirit's asking me to show you a photo. Let me toggle back for a sec. I was doing my meditation and getting ready for this, for these series of readings. And I was compelled to go and load up some photos. So when you see the sacred cauldron that came out over the top, manifesting out of that place, inside the passage tombs, we know that there are altars, and in those altar chambers are placed some very sacred ceremonial bowls, into which the cremated remains of those who passed away were placed to await the solstice in order to make their transition back into the spirit realm. So, standing, emerging, Spirit is talking a lot this month about where you have emerged from and through and into. And so that's the reflection. If you have an interest, you can go back, if you haven't seen them, and look at the messages that came out in the month of October in 2017. So there's a lot of referencing back to last year and a lot of message about what it is to emerge and evolve and begin the ability to manifest. So here in Newgrange, this passage tomb is directly aligned with the Fornox passage tomb and some of the other sites. I'll try to post a short video. So part of what the chatter that's starting to come through now is the alignment of the sacred sites all over the world and the effect that the solstice had. This passage tomb at Newgrange is directly aligned geographically with the Fornox passage tomb, out of which many of the readings came, and also in direct alignment with the Great Pyramids. It's a very interesting topic. Maybe we'll do a live stream about this notion. A lot is coming through to me in these days, and I can't allow myself today to go down that rabbit hole, but Spirit wants me to make sure to be very clear with you about that connection. It has something to do with this ability going forward to manifest and bring forward that which is our destiny, that which is meant to come forward. So the protector of lore brings everything into the realm of simple joy and continues on your human walk, a notation for you about your human ability in terms of the prophecy that came out over the top. So there you stand, again, a balance of male and female energy. This is a place, you are standing in the time, Spirit says, where these abilities to manifest and create reveal themselves in a very natural way. And so that is, in essence, the Spirit saying the root of the prophecy that is coming forward. And if you look at the very next card, that is also a beautiful major arcana card. That is the rememberer of lore. So we start the human walk with the protector of lore, standing in this very sacred place, standing in a new way, standing in a new form of vibration, if you will, a new energy package, Spirit says. That is the overall light, and that is why the card looks the way it does. That's why it is chosen. And then as you take your steps and you move through January and you start your pathway into the new year, that transitions in a very deep personal way into the beautiful rememberer of lore. This beautiful sacred male energy has at its disposal the sacred instrument that holds the key, the vibration, the songs, the messages, and the poetry, the lore that was handed down in a verbal tradition in the ancient days before writing existed. This beautiful remember of lore has to do with sacred tradition, about taking these ideas and moving them forward. That's why the harp is there. It's about remembrance. It's about energetic genius and the ability to perform the movement of ideas and energy and sacred lore. It's also about being a faithful, sacred messenger and having made a commitment. And you certainly, Gemini, have been through all of those things. And now this has begun to be revealed to you. It is your destiny as the rememberer of lore in the light of all these things that have come out to transmit, to vibrate. And last year I was talking about people were asking me, what do you have to do? What should I do? And the answer that always came from Spirit was stand in your place and just be who you are and know that the vibration within you, the energy that streams into you, you have the ability to emanate that outward no matter where you are in every moment. Remind yourself when you're sitting in your car, when you're standing in line at the bank or the grocery store, or whatever you're doing, when these things come to your mind, know that that is the message of Spirit asking you, take a moment, take a breath, feel the joy in your heart, and allow that to emanate outward from you. And it is that practice, Spirit's calling it a practice, going forward into this year, that is the practice, so to speak, that Spirit wants you to develop. It's step one, right? We're in January. So it sounds like a lot, but there are all this concept of the simple joy, stand in the light, all these things we hear from every religious tradition all across the globe. I don't care. I don't get wound up, twisted up in that. So whatever your tradition is, honor the deep sacred text that calls you to be an emissary of light. That's the mission and the message, obviously. And again, I'm feeling a lot of energy streaming through my heart chakra for you, Gemini. And Spirit saying, that is what you went out to retrieve. So deeply out into the universe. And that beautiful tree spirit that spoke to you from the passage tomb. Now we have re-emerged. And it is your moment. Spirit saying, your moment to shine in a way that's true. Whether no one else experiences it, whether you have a challenge with it, be patient. It will come. And you will feel the vibration. And subtly, your energy is going to change. I believe that's part of the message here, if you look at all these cards. When that occurs, as that occurs, Spirit says, you arrive into the realm, if you will, of the beautiful warrior of skill. I had a long chat with somebody in private reading just yesterday about the beautiful warrior of skill. The warrior of skill stands at the ready, just like the woman of battle. Spirit says they're sacred twins, okay, in a certain way, as it relates to this message. So, whoops, wrong card, sorry. So the warrior of skill, you see his saddlebags are packed. He also is dressed in his passion. He has sustenance. He's got a little bit of magic in his hands. He too holds his personal power close to himself. He's invested with his power, Spirit says. He has the means to go forward. And like the beautiful woman of battle, his intentions are filled with purity. He stands in the twilight of the mystical realm. He awaits for the sacred impulse. And that's what Spirit's chattering about. All that chatter about your heart chakra and all those things, there are things that are going to come through. I'm not going to drill down on that for January, but we'll get there. You are going to begin to be able to respond. And Spirit's calling, saying, in a spontaneous way, don't get worried about what you should do. Don't even go there. It's going to come. You're going to know. And when that sacred inspiration takes you, like the warrior of skill, you just jump on your horse and you ride straight into the night, Spirit's saying. Straight into it. In order to have the next part of this adventure and to bring that energy forward, I'm going to transition back. That has been dawning over these last months as you've come through all of these transitions. Standing now in this fertile moment, the blending of male and female energy so beautifully, standing on the sacred ground of the ancients as the protector of that lore and that information. As you begin to remember, you have a sacred destiny that has to do with your ability to travel so far out into the universe and return here. And so I would not be surprised to hear more messages from folks about astral travel and, very vivid dreams, all those kinds of things that people experience when their energy set point begins to shift and they become a receptive container. And so if you look again at the beautiful augury of art, that is, in a sense, part of the message there. It's about receptivity and the ability to emanate outward. So let's take a look at the bridge card that moves all of this energy forward from your human walk and gives you the ability to transition and understand the mirror image that's happening on the spirit realm. And no surprise, that is the king of art. This is an amazing center line. Actually, the whole reading is, truly gorgeous. But just look at that center line. Look at the power, Spirit says, in that center line. And now we see the beautiful woman of battle, who she's looking at. She's looking directly at the king of art, who has been summoned here by the augury, by this beautiful goddess of manifestation. It's a very powerful center line, Gemini. And clearly the king of art has also sacred vision. He's very activated. He also has his personal power in his hands. There's a mythology about this card. This sacred king of art has a spear that is able to cover long distances. And he projects from his being a type of light that clears away darkness and obstruction. He does so by drawing on the creative heart within him. That's why he's activated at the heart. So, no pun intended, in light of that, it brings a deeper understanding of this lineup, Spirit is saying, if you will. And the king of art in your life stands upon the sacred foundation of the rememberer of lore. Your energy set point literally begins to move forward and to emanate and to remove obstructions. That's just, I don't even know what to say about that. That's truly beautiful. Again, there's the light that's returned from the solstice. Sacred vision through your heart. So, I haven't started talking about this yet, and Spirit's nudging me a little bit. When I talk about things streaming through my heart chakra, that's vision. There's information. There are things that you know that will come to you. And sometimes it does change actually how I see from my eyes, and this isn't the time to go into that. But there's a type of vision that doesn't come from your eyes. It comes from your heart. And then your eyes look out into the world. That's what this card is talking about. And that is your sacred bridge. Let me toggle back for you. It's incredibly powerful and really beautiful. this energy that comes forward to move you deep into the prophecy of your evolution. And I would like to now just sort of toggle over because I want to talk with you about the spirit walk. So here are the cards on the spirit walk. If you would, take a look at that left-hand line. There is a very strong, very sacred foundation, standing on the ground of the ancients, in the light of the sun, in a state of simple joy. And as that concept develops about yourself, you begin to be able to see from your heart chakra back and forth across the mystical realm, and to spread that light, if you will, to bring light out of that which emanates into you. So again, I believe that people all across the globe are going to begin to experience a type of clairvoyance and begin to master a type of energy. Okay, Spirit's talking about Star Wars. Hang on, let me transition back. You know, I know not everybody knows those stories, but the emergence that we went through over the solstice, as the sun dawned and the dark days of winter begin to fall away and the light returns, it has unfolded that way for a reason. There are many metaphors packed into all of this. It is about your ability to emanate from within your heart chakra and to take in the energy that comes to you. And that in itself becomes a form of personal power and a form of sacred vision. That's what Spirit's talking about. That's what, Spirit's talking about the ability to wield energy as a form of power in a, obviously in a loving, peaceful way, in order to share that and emanate it into the world around you. And that is what brings the change. I've been talking about that for a while. So that development brings you into the place of your greatest strength. I love this evolution on the left-hand line, vertical line of these cards. That is the beautiful goddess of victory. She follows the sacred path of energy in order to move through her own decision making. She carries the soul. That is her intention, is to carry the soul forward. I'm going to show you the card. So in the ancient days, it was believed that the soul rested in the head. So that is why we see this disembodied head sitting on her lap. And the beautiful breastplate. Look at all the energy. Swirling energy. Gemini, just like some of the things that came out at the end of last year. And there she sits, fully activated at the will center. Do you see the energy that emanates from her? She follows the energy pathway. And that is what you have been doing. And Spirit is, and this is her strength. In the traditional tarot, this would be the strength card. Here in Soul Tarot, she is known as the empowerer of will. And so your greatest strength is the internal will to utilize that which empowers your being and be able to emanate that forward from your being in order to bring the change and be the source of energy that is needed here to help bring forward peace and tranquility and abundance and love, all the things that were prophesied here. So Spirit is continuing to talk about the pathway of the energy. So let me toggle back so you can see these cards. Having reached that moment, and Spirit's talking about the mirror image of your human walk and the implications on the spirit realm. Once you have come into, Spirit saying, having come into this type of knowledge and this type of internal personal power, knowing where your strength actually resides, has nothing to do with physical strength, has nothing to do with literal battles. This is about the challenge to return to the source. I love the fact that following this beautiful goddess of victory, the Strength card, a major arcana card, right next to it sits another major arcana card. This is the Keeper of Harmony. Look at that. That's beautiful. Gorgeous, sacred, male energy. A way through to harmony. A commitment to keeping harmony as a central focus for the strategy of living and being going forward from these moments. The Keeper of Harmony. I'm going to toggle back. I want to show you something. Look at the center line, the center vertical line. On the bottom, on your human walk, you are the actor that performs the job of the rememberer of lore. And the beautiful goddess, the woman of battle, supporting her work and her strength and her vision going forward. A beautiful, fertile journey of shift and change. And above that, the beautiful Keeper of Harmony. That is the purpose. And we're going forward in this manner. And so Spirit is talking about all the diagonal lines. So Spirit's talking about the crisscross of the reading. So going forward into 2018, we're going to be talking about that a lot more. I started to chatter a little bit last year, but this coming year, I think that's going to come through a lot more. The relationships of these actors, Spirit is saying, and how they help each other evolve and grow, and how they weave together their own sacred tapestry in order to bring the change that is prophesied. So look into all the different ways the cards align with each other. Spirit says you're going to have some messaging that's going to come through to you because of the place you are now standing. That, you know, if I discussed every aspect of all the relationships with the cards, we'd be here for 3 hours and no one would watch that. That's the reality, right? So your place of strength is this type of vision, this type of emanation, having evolved into this place. The strength to be able to evolve into the realm of the Keeper of Harmony. And having done that, you set off, of course, on a new adventure. And it's interesting because, again, if you look at the right-hand line, it's all about adventure. The warrior of skill stands at the ready to ride into the sacred inspiration that strikes him, that comes into him on an energetic basis, in order to manifest the augury, the beginning of what is coming. And on the top line, the spirit line, just above the augury of art, is the adventure of art. It's a very rapid progression, a very profound progression. So the adventure of art, for those of you that don't remember, look at that. It's all about turning the sacred spiral of destiny. This gentleman was the sacred harpist. So I also just want to show you all the reverberations, Spirit's calling it, in this message, and the literal mirror image of above and below. As we go forward, you are going to come into greater knowledge about how your human existence literally mirrors the spirit journey that you are on as an individual in your life. And you know, the folks who have come for readings, that's the theme that's starting to come out. A lot more clarity about the reflection of yourself as a spirit being here, walking through your life, a soul evolving and doing its work. So this is also a sacred bard. In the clan, that person's job was to hold the sacred knowledge and the stories and the poems and the songs and the vibration of the people, Spirit says. This instrument was taken away in a battle and held hostage. It was his duty to go to the enemy encampment, cloaked in the darkness of night, and sit outside the encampment and sing the songs and recite the poems and the chants that would activate this instrument and cause it to literally rise through the air and return home. And he was successful. And it literally turned the destiny of the birth, life, death, rebirth cycle. So, Spirit's talking about the Gemini set point of energetics, and how in this time, in these moments, having arrived here in this place, you are now in the place, in the moment, Spirit says, where you have achieved a certain type of growth and reformation. Okay, Spirit's talking about rebirth and all the energy that I've been talking about, generating, okay? This is about karmic destiny. That's the place in which we stand now. Beautiful Gemini, you folks are so amazing to me. Your capacity to vibrate, your capacity to recapture that which has been lost to us is deeply profound, because this sits just above a prophecy. So have no doubt, all you gorgeous folks, have no doubt about the intent of this message and the power and the strength that you are coming into in 2018 and the purpose for that. So I'm going to toggle down to the outcome card, and it will be no surprise to you in light of everything that we've seen here. And there it is, another major arcana card. I mean, this reading is chock full of them. This major arcana card sitting next to a prophecy. Look at the center line of this reading. And Spirit says, and you will understand. And the mirror image above and below on the spirit realm and the human walk. Spirit saying, saddle up. Let me transition back. Spirit says, saddle up. Like this guy, saddle up. Because we're going. And who better? And Spirit's saying, there is no better energetic set point for this than you. And there's a lot of excitement, a feeling of sort of joy, bubbling up from within me. There's a lot of excitement about this. Look, beautiful. Look, okay. Sorry, I'm stumbling with my words because I'm so excited. Do you remember the tree out of which came your reading in October at the beautiful passage tomb at Douth? Now I'm just going to burst into tears. There's a message streaming through still for you. And this is it. Okay? Just like that tree did. I wish I had loaded a picture. Darn it. All right, so that is the spinner of growth. The purpose of this message is to help you come into a place of extreme clarity. I've talked a lot about this in some of your other readings. So Spirit's talking about the sacred tree that takes energy in from the sky, from the air, from the sun, breathing it in literally and exhaling out, a living being that respirates energy. Here, taking it in from the energy of the sun, literally, in order to live out its life cycle, and exhaling its energy out into the world and sending forward seeds on the winds of change. That is the message. And there you stand. You know what? I'm going to toggle back because Spirit's talking to me. There you stand. So that is Spirit's saying the word mosaic. So these cards this month for you are a mural. It is a mosaic in a way that there's a message coming through, Spirit saying, that hasn't come through before in this way because of your shift and change and your readiness and ability to receive it and act upon it and understand the place in which you now reside, fully vested with your strength and your mission. And Spirit's calling my attention again to the center line. And so there's the woman of battle in the center. That's you, your energy. Standing at the ready. She is often the first one into the gap. And so Spirit is using that image to let you know you're ready. And as soon as the inspiration comes to you, you're going to go straight for it because that's what that woman does. And she looks directly at the king of art. So on the center line, we have a prophecy starting the reading. The augury of art, the beginning of something new, the manifestation of what is meant to come. And in order for that to be able to evolve, you need to be standing in the way of the woman of battle. And there you are. And Spirit's letting you know, don't have any doubt, because that woman has no doubt. She is strong, she is clear, she has firm grip on her personal power, and she has no agenda other than to move forward in the way that unfolds her destiny. And so, beautiful Gemini, I leave you with that, and I wish for you a gorgeous month. I hope you have a beautiful New Year celebration in whatever way you can. Spirit saying, celebrate yourself. It's time, because going forward, there will be an immense amount of joy in this way. So thanks for being here. I'm looking forward to hearing from all of you, and I will leave you with the cards. I'll talk to you in February.